Hey there and welcome to the Databits channel. You know what? I saw you the other day. You were driving down the road, looking out the window of your car. There was a car next to you, probably newer, made in the last couple of years, and you noticed that they had this cool display on their dashboard, and you thought, oh man, if I only had that, that would be so cool. Well, that's what Carpuride is supposed to do for you. They're going to provide you an HD display for your vehicle so that you can have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in your car without having to replace the head unit. That's right. Anybody out there who's watching this, whether you have technical skills or not, can install this unit and have all the coolness and added functionality even to your car stereo and car ride experience, because it's the Carpuride, right? So this unit right here, as I already said, has the Apple CarPlay, the Android Auto, AirPlay, and AutoLink. Look on the side here. It also boasts the ability to charge your phone, voice controls, ability to plug in an SD card with some great music on it or photos, and you could plug in a USB disc as well. So some of the other features in-vehicle multimedia solutions are phone link, FM transmitting, 1080p touchscreen, SD card, USB, talked about that, auxiliary 3.5 millimeter, voice controls, and rear view camera. So again, all these great functions can be added to your vehicle with one of these. Now I can say all this kind of salesy because I've already reviewed one of these and it's doing great. It was, I'm amazed at the response with that thing. And so I reached out to Carpuride myself and I said, hey, send me another one of these. So this one is a smaller unit than the one that we've reviewed previously. I'll put a link up here at the top of the screen, right up here, so that you can see that video if you'd like. But without further ado, let's get into this box and discover what's in it and look at its functions and inputs and outputs. So after we look at the contents of this box, we are going to connect it to a Kia Sorento head unit. So that's the factory radio inside my car, and believe me, that factory radio is very, very plain. So something like this is going to really enhance my trip experience and multimedia stuff. So let's take a look inside. So right here on the top, we have the unit itself. It's very tablet-like. The other one, again, the first unit that I looked at was a very, very long unit. And this particular one, hey, there's my piano back there. This particular one is going to be smaller. Again, it's 7-inch. So it's not going to take up near as much space on your dashboard or on your window as the prior unit. Okay. And let's see what else we've got here. Let's take this foam out. And inside the box, we have the 12-volt charger. We have something that goes with the mounting equipment. We have a mount that has a nice big 3M branded two-sided tape on it for adhesion to your dashboard. We have the bracket that attaches to your window here. We have another piece of sticky. We have a 3.5 millimeter plug. We have another piece of mounting equipment. We have probably dash assisted piece right there to attach it to your dash, maybe even screw it to the dash. And of course we have our owner's manual, which real men do not read, but it is here for you. Especially if you're not a real man, you can go ahead and read this. Very easy pictorial instructions on how to set up the unit. But I'm going to show you how to set up the unit right here. The unit itself is very sturdy. It is not cheap and plasticky feeling, so that is definitely a plus. Right here in the back, you'll see a light sensor. So that helps with the display. So it knows at night to dim and during the day get bright. That's pretty cool. Let's look at the jacks on the side here. So we have a 5-volt, 2.1 amp input. It is a Type-C input there. We have a USB jack an AV out jack, a camera in jack, the input for our TF card or our micro SD card, and a place to plug in a microphone there too. So that's going to assist you with making phone calls and such. So if you've got a really noisy car, it might be a good idea to plug a mic in here. But this unit does have a built-in microphone on it. You'll see the little hole for it right there. So as long as it's near you, you won't need to plug in an external microphone. I think it's very cool that this particular unit allows you to customize the color of these buttons here on the side. That's kind of nice. I will demonstrate that for you here shortly. If your car doesn't have a decent audio system, let's say all the speakers are blown in your old car, well, you're in luck here because there's an 8 ohm 2-watt speaker built into this unit. So just like the old GPS navigation units you would have on your dash, this unit has a strong built-in speaker that you can use for your voice navigation. Another thing to note is there is a protective film on the front of the unit. I recommend you keep that on until it's completely in place and we have it mounted on the dash. That'll keep your screen from getting scratched or getting fingerprinted or dirty, what have you, again, until you're ready to activate the unit. Let's take another brief look at the mounting hardware that comes with this unit. You have 2 options to mount it in your vehicle. You can do it to the dash with this, or do it to the windshield with this. You could actually use this piece that's for the windshield on your dash with this piece. So it has a sticky on the bottom, and it also has holes where you could mount screws. This one does the same as well. And then you have the 2 sticky pieces. Now what else is nice is it has this telescoping piece on here, so you can adjust it to be closer to you or further away from you, like that. Now, before we get the Carpuride in our car, let's go ahead and go over some of its functions. First off is how do we get audio from this device to our car? All right, there's really 3 options for audio on this unit. First off, you're going to turn the unit on here on the top. And to turn it on, you hold the button down for a few seconds. To turn it off, you also hold down the button for a few seconds. This particular start screen you just saw there is customizable. You can actually send your logo to Carpuride and they will put a new logo on there. It could be your company, it could be your car's logo, whatever you'd like. So remember I mentioned that these particular buttons here have color settings on them. So check this out. I can go over here to settings and then I can go to key color here and I can change what color those buttons are. Ain't that cool? I like that. A little bit of customization there that you can do. Now, to get the audio to your car, this thing has 2 ways to do it. One is you can do it through the 3.5mm cable and to the auxiliary port of your radio or your car. So like in the Kia that we're going to demonstrate, this port is actually in a different location than the radio, which is kind of odd. But it's there and it can be done. So this is going to be the best way to get the sound into your car. The purest way, the best sound, okay? Second way you could do it is through the radio FM transmitter, which you would access through this button right here. And you can see you set this particular frequency for your car, tune your car's radio into this, and then any audio that goes through this device will go to your car through that radio frequency. All right. And then the third way to get it into your car is through Bluetooth. So you could actually pair your phone to this device and to your car if it already has Bluetooth, and then you're going to get rich audio that way as well. I would recommend doing Bluetooth to both this device and your car if your car has Bluetooth. Otherwise, use the FM or use this particular cable. I'll demonstrate it with this cable. Let's go over the rest of the functions of this device, and starting at the top left, you have a home button. That home button is also on the screen here. You have volume up and down. That volume up and down is also on the screen via that button right there. This button here will summon either Siri or Google once you have your phone of either type paired with this device. And then we have a go back button right here. And again, our microphone is just beyond this little hole right here on the bottom left. Going through the apps that are on the screen, we have our Apple Play here, our Apple CarPlay, our Android Auto. We have AirPlay, which would just be audio, I would assume, or just using this device as a TV. You have Auto Link here, which allows you to screen mirror through a cable. We have the EQ section here, which allows you to customize the sound quality for whichever device you are outputting it to. We have Bluetooth here, so this is where you would go to do your pairing. We also have USB and SD card functionality here. We have our FM transmitter setting here. And then under settings, we have language, key color, device, speaker, write drive, restore factory settings, system version. We have Android wired link and iPhone wired link. And then underneath here, you'll see that you can mirror your phone or you can do CarPlay. You can't do both, but you can do one or the other. I think Apple CarPlay is going to be the desired one there. We have a Wi-Fi settings here. And then underneath here, we have settings for our rear camera. So you can do rear camera mirror. You can do the park line setting. You can turn the park line on and off. And you can put the video warning on the screen as well. We have a brightness setting if you want to override the automatic setting, which is right there. You have a background toggle here. So if I keep pressing this, it changes the wallpaper. And if you need help, you can always tap there, and it gives you instructions for who to email to get support for this product. Let's take a look at pairing your iPhone with the Carpuride. So you'll go into settings on your phone and you're going to go into Bluetooth. And once you're there, look for other devices down at the bottom and then go ahead and tap Carpuride right there. This number will come up and you'll just go ahead and tap pair. You don't need to do anything with that number. And then you'll be asked if you want to sync your favorites and contacts with the device. I'd say go ahead and hit allow. So then your phone should ask you if you want to use CarPlay. So yes, you're going to turn on Wi-Fi and use CarPlay right there. And within a few moments, you should see the CarPlay appear over here on your device. And pairing is complete. And now the moment you've been waiting for. Let's go ahead and clip this clip that you see here onto the back of the unit. We're going to remove this protective film that you see right there on the suction cup, and we're going to stick it to the window and get it mounted where we'd like it. Once you get it positioned on the window where you'd like it, go ahead and lift this lever up, and that will ensure that it stays stuck where you put it. As far as connections go, I've got my power cable plugged in here and my 3.5mm audio plug here, and I've inserted a USB flash drive. I'm going to run all of those cables down the dashboard here to where my inputs are. So right here is where I'm going to plug in the cigarette lighter adapter, power adapter, and then right here is my auxiliary input into my UVO powered Kia Sorento stereo system. All right, please pardon the dust going on here. So as soon as I plugged in that cable into my radio, it says auxiliary connected, which is kind of cool. So the audio is already going through. I've got my phone magnetically mounted here on a magnetic strip. Notice there are no wires. Set that there. And then I am going to demonstrate for you the audio quality. All right, so let's go ahead and go back. I've got my CarPlay up here, but I'm going to go back in the menu. I'm going to hit my car home here, and then let's go into the USB card here, and I've got some music on there. So let's go ahead and crank that up and see how that sounds for you. I can crank up the audio here. Sounds pretty good, right? I think so. So again, our audio is going from CarPlay / Bluetooth into this unit and then out through the audio cable. Another scenario you could do is connect your Bluetooth to this device and also connect it to the Bluetooth on the radio. So you could do simultaneous Bluetoothing. That is a thing. So that's the other method, and that's probably the recommended method, especially if you don't want to have to run extra cables across the front of your car. But that option is there. And again, if your car does not have either one of those, it doesn't have an aux input or it doesn't have Bluetooth, you also can go into this FM transmitter here, set the frequency here that you want to broadcast on, and then set the frequency here on your radio and make sure the two match, okay? Last thing we can do is go ahead and remove this protective film, unless you just want to keep it on there for whatever reason, maybe as like a screen protector. But she's going to be a whole lot prettier and shinier with that particular film removed. All right, guys, that is our review of the Carpuride. You are ready to go, ready to take a trip, get your turn-by-turn directions, get your music playing and pumping, and you'll be all set. So please subscribe to the channel. Please share this video with a friend, and thank you for watching. It's been fun. See you soon. So as a bit of bonus content here, what happens if you turn your car off and turn it back on? Well, if your car is controlling the 12-volt lighter socket as far as its output goes by the key, once you turn on the key, the Carpuride should come back on again. All right, so let's test that here. So I've turned on my key, and we should see the unit power on and boot up. And it'll take us a few seconds. Notice my car is already on auxiliary connector, which is great. But again, if your car does not control the power to the 12 volt, then you're gonna have to turn the unit off every time you come to a stop, which I know is kind of a pain. It remembered I was playing music, so it came right back to playing music. Now I can go up here to the top, and I can go back to my CarPlay, and I'm ready to go. And then when I get to my destination, I'm going to turn the car off, and everything turns off. All right, so just keep in mind, as far as power goes, and again, your power button is right here on the top, and you can turn the power on and off at will right there. See you guys.